Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this tutorial. It's going to be detailed, step by step, just in case. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the items that you will need for this tutorial. So, get ready. Let's begin. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. The first item on the list is a happy planner, any planner. The one I happen to have is the budget planner. This is the envelope that we're going to learn how to create today for bills, receipts, or anything. Let's get ready. The first item we will need is an envelope, a large envelope, a ruler, a fine tip Sharpie or a pen, a pencil, a hole puncher, Velcro dots, X-Acto knife, box cutter, anything sharp, a scoring tool, mine happens to be two-sided, a crocodile to round edges. You can always use a scissor, a scissor, glue, any glue, binder clips, file clips, and a round item, a large round item. We also need paper trimmer. Of course, you can always use scissors also. Cardstock, scrapbook paper. One-sided is great, double-sided is fine. 2 strips of cardstock, any color. The color doesn't matter, it's going to be on the inside, no one will see it. Laminate pouch, the usual length of an envelope, a large envelope, is 9 to 9.5 inches. They do range smaller, possibly bigger, but this one's perfect. It fits nicely in the Happy Planner. So instead of doing exact measurements, I'll just place this envelope on top of the cardstock and we're going to mark. The first mark and the second mark, we want it to have 1/4 of an inch bigger on top of the envelope. Instead of using a ruler, I'll just use this Sharpie to space it and mark. Mark at the bottom. Place the envelope on top of the top mark that we did. Grab the Sharpie for that 1/4 of an inch space. So we have 2 exact spaces for an envelope. The top we just slide on up and mark at the top. So now you have a mark at the top and the bottom. Those 2 marks are going to be useful as guidelines so when we trim. Grab those 2 strips of cardstock and instead of measuring them, we're going to place it on the marks that we already did, the length of the envelope. Mark each one. Put it to the side. Grab the next one and mark it again. We're going to cut those pieces later. You can always draw a line, but I'm not because I have the top and the bottom as guides. And we're going to use the paper trimmer. You can always use scissors also. Magic, it's trimmed. Now, that piece of paper, we're going to transfer those 2 marks that we did of the width of the envelope. That strip, we're going to bend it twice because that's going to be useful as a guideline to use scissors because it's no use to use a paper trimmer for such a small piece. The 2 largest pieces are the ones that we're going to keep. Now, grab your ruler, place it on the first mark, and with pressure, hold it down and mark it with your square tool. If you don't have a square tool, use a pencil, anything pointy. Pressure, score it. Do it about 2 to 3 times because we're going to bend that. We're going to fold it over. The second mark, do the same thing. Place the ruler on top, hold it down tightly so it won't move, and score. Fold the bottom part up by the first score line. The reason that we do this is because we want that second score line to be right above this fold. Because when we fold over the top, we don't want it to be in the way. If it is in the way, you can always score another line. Now, we're going to score 2 to 3 more lines. Space them about 1/4 of an inch, even smaller. It doesn't have to be exact. That's 1. Place your ruler down, level it, press down so your ruler won't move, and score. Once or twice. Third line. Go ahead and score. See? 3. Altogether, you're going to have the second score line you did plus 3. That will be 4. It doesn't matter as long as you have a bunch of lines. It'll make sense later. Here, I'm just erasing my pencil marks. They're on the inside, so it really doesn't matter, but I'm just a perfectionist, and you never know. So, why not erase it? It doesn't take that much time. Now, those score lines, you're going to go ahead and fold each one by one. Because when you score, it's supposed to help once you laminate it. It's supposed to help, bend it. But sometimes it doesn't work so well. So I like to bend it before I laminate it and after. It just makes it bendable, more easy. Easier than just a simple score mark or score line. Here I'm making sure that the lines are straight. Smooth it out. Now, if you don't have a scoring tool, you can always use a pen, a pencil, a ruler. Basically anything flat and smooth. Or you can always just use your fingers. Those always work. The scoring tool helps with this part. It wasn't that straight. So instead of struggling with my fingers, I just used the score tool. But before I had the score tool, I used to use a pencil or a pen, anything flat. So now we're going to round those edges with a crocodile. If you don't have a crocodile, don't worry. You can always use scissors, or you can always buy the smaller ones. Crocodile is just heavy duty. So remember that circular item I said? That round item I mentioned? Go ahead and lay it on the first bottom part. Use a pencil. And now you have like 1/4 of a moon shape. And you're gonna cut it out. Magic. You see those sharp edges? Sharp edges are your enemy, especially when they're laminated. They can cut right through your hands, your fingers. Go ahead and round them with scissors. Can't use a crocodile for this. It's not the right angle. So go ahead and use your scissors. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's not pointy. Remember those strips? Let's cut them. We're going to use these two strips to reinforce the part that the hole puncher is going to punch. That way, it won't be too flimsy when we put it in or take it out of our planner. So we're going to glue the first one on one side, and then we're going to glue the next one on the other side. Of course, I'm going to do it off camera. Remember this strip? Cut it with our scissors. And save the other side. We're going to use the two biggest. The other one, you can use it for another project or toss it. Fold in half. Fold that part in half. I was trying to show you there, but too bright. Fold again. Don't worry, if you didn't get it, I'm going to do it one more time for you. Fold in half. Grab that side. Fold that side in half. Do the same on the other side. That strip of paper basically is going to have 4 folds. And that we're going to glue inside, and that's going to expand because we're not just going to toss like 8 envelopes in there and it won't expand. It'll destroy our work of art. So we use that to have space to expand it. And we fold over, we glue it, and we do the other side. And we're going to put those file clamps on each side and wait for it to glue, to dry up. Now, I already glued these, one on one side, one on the other side, to reinforce the bottom. Because we're going to, remember, punch holes. We want it to be strong and not flimsy. Now you grab your laminating pouch, and you have the top part open. Leave a little space of laminate on the bottom, just like your happy planner. Laminate it, and we're going to cut there, there, and that little piece there. We're not going to cut the bottom. The top you don't cut too close. You want to have some clear laminate space about 1/8 of an inch far. But the sides, we're going to cut closely because we want that to open up. We're going to cut that little piece, trim it, again close enough to where the envelope will be able to open up. Because those 2 other pieces that we folded in 4 are going to go inside there. It may sound confusing, but it will make sense. Just watch. See how it's open? Now we're going to cut here. That's why we need the X-Acto knife. Ruler, just to make sure your lines are straight. You don't have to, but if you're kind of shaky, this helps. Don't press too hard. It's a feeling that you feel when you press down. It like punches through the laminate, and then you'll get a sensation on when the X-Acto knife is on the paper. Hard to explain, but once you do it, you'll understand. Do it softly. Don't go all the way through. Now, we're gonna do this part. Do it slowly. Take your time. Don't rush. Just go along that edge. That's why with the straight parts, I use a ruler because I can do that quickly and I don't have to go slow. But this part, Just go slow, take your time. Don't use too much pressure, just a little bit. And now it's open. Voila. Now the laminate has pointy edges. Trying to put this envelope so you could kind of see what I'm talking about, but you're not able to see it. What I did, I took a piece of cardboard paper so I can use it as guide. A guide to mark the laminate with a Sharpie. You can always just round it, eyeball it. But again, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I did that. Here I go, trying to rub it off. Hello, it's Sharpie, it doesn't rub off. But afterwards, since I like my items clean, I'll just rub alcohol and they'll disappear. So go ahead and round those with the scissors. If you have a crocodile or any tool that, rounds your edges, it may work on the laminate, but usually it doesn't. You can use it as a guide because it will punch that indentation. Then you'll have to use your scissors. But you can eyeball it and use your scissors or round it with a guide and cut it like I just did. Now, those sides, make sure your print is on the outside. You glue one side, you put it down, you glue the other side, and you fold it down. And that's why you need your binder clips. So it already dried for me. I removed them because I want this envelope flat on a surface. So we can go ahead and fold those scores that we did and see, it just makes it much easier. Sometimes when you don't fold it before you laminate it, it just makes it a struggle and it creates extra ugly wrinkles because the laminate paper is kind of hard. So just do it beforehand. Now we get our Velcro dots. And what I do, I just place them together. I make sure the fuzzy part is at the top and the prickly harder part is on the envelope at the bottom. I just like doing that because when you open it, you don't want the top of your hand to get rubbed with the stiff, prickly part. So I put the fuzzy part so it's soft. Again, just one of those things that I do. Put pressure on it, make sure it sticks, and they didn't come off because I put pressure on it. So that's set. Now, flat on the surface, grab one of your Happy Planners cover. Make sure it's even. Put your file clips on it so it won't move. And draw the half moons, top to bottom. You do this because when you use your hole puncher, you have a guide there. Don't use your happy planner puncher because it's too thick for it. It'll jam, so don't use the happy planner punch. You can always use your arc punch, arc by Staples, or the Levenger. Those are fancier, more expensive. I have those, but the hole punch, oldie but goodie. Now I did the half moons and I did the little lines at the bottom. Can you see them? Just one line. Because we're going to cut that line and then to the side of it, cut again. Okay, let's get to punching. So see, you have to use a little elbow grease while doing this, and that's why you can't use the happy planner punch, because it's so thick it'll get stuck. Now see the little lines that I made? We're going to cut those, and then we're going to move to the side a bit and cut again. It doesn't have to be too big. Enough space for the disc to go through it. Some people go crazy at this part. No, just keep it simple. All done. Now let's see. See the sides? We have a lot of space for like 3 envelopes, possibly even more, and a pen, receipts, notes, bills. It fits perfectly. And it matches the cover. You can put that on the inside or the outside of your planner, wherever you like. It's handy to hold the things that you need to budget your finances. And there you go. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for much more fun. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.